What is up, people, and welcome to the first edition of my new miniseries called What the FTC, which is a 7-part miniseries depicting what I, as a fan, think that DC should be doing with our comic book films. 7 parts, which is going to be going over 7 different properties that I think DC should be focused on doing adaptations with. This week, I'm going to be talking about Wonder Woman. Now, I think Wonder Woman should be the top priority for DC over at Warner Brothers because it completes the DC Trinity. They have The Dark Knight Rises, which is going to be closing Batman coming up, and they have Man of Steel, which is going to be starting Superman. And it only makes sense to have Wonder Woman coming out next, because it completes the Trinity. It has the 3 biggest characters in DC Comics out and with their own films. And it's not like movies with a female lead are not selling, which was one of the issues that they had for not making it in the past. With films like Haywire, which really didn't make that much, but it was very entertaining and critics liked it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. And more recently, The Hunger Games, which has made quite the wad of cash currently. I mean, the market, if it's a good story and if it has good actors and a good director, then I think it's going to work no matter what. And I know Joss Whedon tried to do a Wonder Woman movie in the past, and it just didn't fall through. Now he's doing Avengers, obviously. And the David Kelly Wonder Woman pilot, which they started and then fell through the roof, but that was because that was a terrible pilot. You can see it on the internet. And you have directors like Nicholas Winding Refn, who's directed Drive, which I have not seen yet, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. I have seen, though, of his Valhalla Rising and Bronson. Bronson was fantastic. Valhalla Rising was really violent and pretty entertaining. But he has come out and stated, I want to do a Wonder Woman movie with Christina Hendricks. Now, I would not say do Christina Hendricks because I just don't think she fits the role very much at all. She's a fantastic actress. I love her in Mad Men. I just don't think that her as an actor fits the role. But he is a fantastic director, and he has shown interest in the project. Now, if I were over at Warner Brothers, I would be leaping at the opportunity to have this guy helm one of the biggest superheroes of all time. But for some reason, they haven't. They were too busy making the crap that was Green Lantern. Now, I think you can do a Wonder Woman movie if you do it more like a Gladiator, kind of Troy, that Greek, real heavily influenced mythology film. You can do the chariots and the horses and the sword fights. I mean, it's worked in the past with films like a Gladiator, Troy, Braveheart, Lord of the Rings type of tone. Very mythology-based, very action, very epic. I think with someone as good as Nicholas Winding Refn directing this film, it could be a hit. But as always, with any film, you need to focus on story and character before violence and action, which is not the case with Green Lantern because that film was crap, and that's what they did. They focused on special effects and action and eye candy other than making a good story, because the story and plot of that film sucked bad. And I know Nicholas Winding Refn is a pretty big character director. He likes to have his story and his characters shown very real. That didn't really make any sense, but I think I know you know what I'm trying to get at. And my personal choices for Wonder Woman would be Jamie Alexander, who played Sif in Thor, and she's also been in shows like Kyle XY. But a lot of people have been passing around Gina Carano, which I wouldn't mind whatsoever. She was in Haywire. She was pretty good in Haywire. Granted, she had a dubbed voice, but I mean, that's no big issue. At least it wasn't for me. I don't think it'd be a big problem. Her acting wasn't perfect, but you could definitely believe her in the fight scenes, being that she's MMA fighter. And then Kate Beckinsale has been rumored to have been involved in a Wonder Woman project for quite some time now, who I don't think I love Kate Beckinsale as an actress. I don't think I would really want her in Wonder Woman, but I think she would be a perfect pick for Hippolyta, the queen of Themyscira and the mother of Diana, or Wonder Woman. And then for characters like Artemis, I would say probably someone like Jessica Biel, who I'm not a huge fan of, but I think in just a smaller role like this, more action-oriented role, I think she'd do fine. And for like someone like Steve Trevor, I would say Nathan Fillion, who voiced Steve Trevor in the 2009 animated film, who I always thought was perfect casting for Steve Trevor. And if not Nathan Fillion, then I would say Matt Damon. I think he could actually do a very good job in this role. And for the villain, I don't want to copy the animated series too much, but I just think Ares is the perfect villain for a Wonder Woman film. If not Ares, I would love for something to do with the Greek gods, because there's such rich history with the Greek gods and so much tension and emotions that I think you could really take to your advantage if you're doing a Wonder Woman movie. And perfect casting for me of Ares would be Jason Isaacs. He's a phenomenal actor, very underrated actor. He can play a brilliant villain, and possibly even Sean Bean, who is in almost every Greek mythology movie out there. He is in all of them, and he's proven that he can do pretty good in all those films too. I mean, he hasn't given a bad performance yet. Granted, he's not as good as Jason Isaacs, but he would definitely be a pretty. I wouldn't mind it. And there's been a lot of concern when it comes to bringing the costume to film. And they in the David E. Kelly Wonder Woman pilot, I think they did a fairly decent job. I mean, it was really shiny. It looked really plasticky, but I mean, nothing slipped out. They kept all that done pretty well. And there are so many different incarnations of the Wonder Woman costume. There's the traditional costume. There's when JMS came in and changed the entire backstory and whatnot. He changed the costume, gave her a jacket and pants, which a lot of fans didn't really appreciate that, but I didn't really have a big problem with it. And then there's the New 52 costume, which looks like they're traditional, but far less revealing, far less tight. You know, it looks more realistic. And then I couldn't resist. I had to go and I had to make up my own little costume. So this is a sketch that I did based off the Justice League issue 3 cover, and that's what I think would look like a good costume. It has stuff from the New 52, JMS's Wonder Woman, the traditional, and some of my own just designs. It's all mixed in there. But I think this should really be DC's focal point for their next film, because it is Wonder Woman. It is the last of the trinity of DC that they need to do, and I think if there's ever a good time to do it, now is the time to do it. But for some reason, they just can't get off their lazy butts and do it. I mean, I would go see it. I know other fans would go see it. People who are interested in the trailers, which if Nicholas Winding Refn will be doing it, then that'll bring a whole new crowd of real intense moviegoers, and then the action will bring that crowd. So I mean, it's not like the movie's going to have any problem making money. For some reason, DC just can't get past the fact that they think, according to their thought process, if it's not Superman or Batman, then it's not going to sell, and that's wrong. Green Lantern didn't sell because word of mouth got out that it was a piece of crap. So, I think Nicholas Winding Refn should direct it with Jamie Alexander, Kate Beckinsale in the film, and have it a pretty violent, because Wonder Woman is a very bloody, violent character. So have it in that Greek mythology, just violent world, and then it'll sell. I'll go see it. I mean, what do you guys think? Comment below. Tell me what you guys would like to hear about this, and tune in next week for another episode of What the FDC, where I'm going to be talking about The Flash. I'm Connor, and I'll see you guys later.